react. Let's bring in Marc Thiessen, former chief speechwriter for President George W. Bush and an American Enterprise Institute scholar. Marc, good to have you with us. So, you know, in my mind, if Congress mandates funding to a school system based on a vote in Congress to pass a rescue package, and then the school decides to use it for something else, isn't that misappropriation of funds? And if that's the case, shouldn't they be investigated for the way that they spent that money, especially if they're now saying we don't have enough for masks or testing?
Well, especially because they said that they needed this money to reopen the schools, and now the schools aren't reopening. I mean, literally the justification for the money was the local school districts were saying we can't reopen without this money. And now they're not. And you've got the teachers unions in Chicago. 75% of Chicago teachers voted not to return to in-person learning. 75%. I mean, any teacher who refuses to teach in this environment is engaged in child abuse. They should not be teaching. What the school districts ought to do and what the mayors ought to do is do what Ronald Reagan did when the air traffic controllers refused to work, and fire any teacher who doesn't show up for work. There's absolutely no excuse for not doing it. This is not about protecting kids. We know that for most kids, COVID is like the flu. We don't shut down our schools for the flu. In Germany, the German government reported that in 15 months, not a single healthy child under the age of 18 has died in the country of Germany. Not one. We don't know the number in the United States because the CDC doesn't even bother to track it. But I'm sure it's very similar. And so COVID is not a risk to these kids in any serious way. But you know what it is? Not being in school. You've had a 51% since COVID hit, a 51% increase in suicides among teenage girls. You have poor kids in these who are having learning losses from which they will never recover. For some of these kids with parents who are either abusive or absent, school is the only normalcy they have. It's the only place where they have activities, where they have interested adults who are taking care of them and showing an interest in their lives. They were abandoned by their parents, and now they're being abandoned by their teachers. It's an absolute disgrace.
Yeah, it is. And it's worth pointing out that the most recent numbers I could find were from 2019, but I doubt they've gone down. Chicago's public school system had the highest expenditure per student in the whole state, and it was around $40,000. There are, Catholic schools who educate students across the country $16,000, $17,000 a year. So Chicago's spending $40,000 per student and claiming that they don't have masks and testing after they received all of this government money as well. But I want to go back to your thing about firing these teachers if they don't show up for their job. Is there any indication? Lori Lightfoot, the mayor, has sort of stiffened her sinews on this. But, would that firing come from her? Or should we hear that kind of recommendation coming from the president of the United States and potentially his wife, who is a very outspoken education advocate?
Well, the call should definitely come from the president. He doesn't, unlike Reagan with the air traffic controllers, he doesn't have direct hiring authority over them. These are local employees, so the mayors would have to execute it. But the idea that 75% of Chicago teachers voted not to return to school, I mean, it's outrageous. Go back to March 2020, when we had no vaccines, when we had no treatments, grocery clerks showed up to work. We wouldn't have had food if grocery clerks showed up to work, but they decided that they were essential workers. Do teachers consider themselves to be essential workers or not? And if you're not an essential worker, then quit and find another job, because the teaching is essential. And if you don't think it is, you shouldn't be in a classroom with kids because you're abusing children.
No, we've made a promise to every child in America that we will give them a public education. And if you renege on that promise, then there should be ramifications. And I think the Department of Education needs to make sure they have a plan for catch-up, and they need to start implementing that plan now.
They should be teaching in the summer.
Absolutely. I mean, we talked about this last summer, and it was like, I asked Randy Weingarten why there isn't summer school to catch up, and it was like, like I had three heads. Marc, thank you very much. Good to have you as always.
Thanks, Martha.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.